Hey everybody, I figured midday I would take a little break and give you a tour of what happened on Monday because it was too dark when it was time to actually do the video and I just hadn't gotten around to it. So on Monday the electricians came and we got a good portion of the wiring done here in the kitchen and on the back porch. So you can see some of the things we had to talk through was how we were going to get certain wires to certain things, which is always a challenge. So if you look up above me, there's my little dangling light. The ceiling fan is here. So once everything is up and running, then we'll get that installed. But this was actually just kind of nice to see if it's going to work and, troubleshoot anything. Anyway, so when you walk into this door, which will be a swinging door, just going straight from the dining room into the kitchen, there will be a switch here, and this was a design change because originally I wanted to put it over here, but with just everything that's going to be on the other side of that wall, it was just not going to work out well. So we're going to put that here. This will be ceiling fan, dimmer switch, as well as the light dimmer switch. So this is going to be a smart switch, so it should theoretically not only work with the Wi-Fi, but it also should strengthen all of the other signals that work with all of the other Wi-Fi enabled outlets and switches and things in the house. So let's hope for that. If not, it's not the end of the world. We'll just switch it back to a standard outlet. So currently this is a standard outlet. It will be a smart outlet as well. And likewise on the other side. Now, if you're looking at it and you kind of see some of the tape's been falling off, but there would have been countertop here and then some cabinets above. If you really start kind of thinking through what those dimensions would be, yeah, that's basically the size of a Hoosier cabinet, which is probably what was typically here. But obviously I would like some electricity. So we're going to do something that feels like that as far as the cabinetry goes. But I did not want to damage any antiques to make this happen. I have a very strong opinion on creating additional damage. I don't really think of that as restoration. So there will be a base cabinet here. Ideally, there's going to be a butcher block countertop and drawers, mostly drawers throughout this entire space. And because the majority of our family is very tall, we're going to do really a lot more storage in the overhead versus down below. And so there will be the first wall hung cabinets, and then there's actually going to be an entire row of wall hung cabinets all the way around the top, which is how he was able to put that hole there, which I could not be in the room and watch. That was really painful to see. But it had to be done so that we could get our electrical from the ceiling above all the way through where the joists are. They run this direction to the wall, and then he could drop everything down. So that's how that happened. I've got my audience here. And then over here on this side is where the refrigerators and freezers are going to go. And if you remember the previous videos, I'm going to try something different. I'm going to do drawers. They are ADA compliant. They should light up when you pull out a drawer, and one will be a freezer that has ice in it, just like you would expect from some of the modern freezers you see today. And then the other will be a refrigerator. I like the idea of I could just use one because refrigerator is going to be, aside from central heat and air, which won't be in this house, refrigerator will be actually the biggest user of electricity in the house consistently. So it's kind of neat to think that maybe when I'm just one person here, I can actually just use one and I'll still have all of my counter space. If it's a terrible idea and I ended up hating it, not a big deal. I'll just move that upstairs and put that in my office. So there are 2 outlets. He added me a second one to be able to do that. And then we had to work hard to figure out a place to put an outlet that would serve the countertop here. I think what I'll probably do is have the microwave plugged in. But there's a lot of cross bracing that goes on in this wall. And then of course the original panels on the other side. And even though it's not going to be electrified, I do want to leave it as a history, feature to be able to have that conversation. So it eliminated about half of what I could use to put an outlet in the wall. And then we still got to insulate. So that's going to get fun. This area has been a big point of contention for me. I've gone back and forth on deciding how to deal with it. If you see here, the door opens and it'll kind of open in the middle of this other door. So that's not really ideal, although having everything be glass makes it a little bit safer. I just don't want anybody to have, a door in the face. But if you look at the cut marks in the wood, at one point, either this was a much bigger opening or it was an opening that was further over and then they slid it back that direction. Really not too many easy ways to tell. There's going to be a wall here, just through that door where the water heater is going to be, and then the washer and dryer are going to be behind that. So I was debating whether or not to leave this wall, move the opening over, what would be the most ideal situation. And the electrician was talking about, well, you do get a little bit more counter space. So we're going to go with that for now, frankly, because just it's a lot of decisions to make in a house this size. So I'm going to deal with that for now. This is not a decision I have to make right this moment. So I'm still kind of struggling with that. Hey, Peeper, what you doing? I don't know if you guys heard her, but she's been very sweet today. So I do have my temporary door in. Don't judge me. I really do know how to hang a door. And there's going to be a switch. I don't know why this was installed here. So I actually took out that piece of shiplap and put a new piece in that I subsequently had to glue because it cracked on me. But I outlined exactly where to cut to put that light switch in, and I just hadn't cut it out because I was waiting for glue to dry. And then when they came in, they cut 3 inches to the left. I don't know why. So we'll see if that drives me insane. It's not a huge thing to move if I need to move it, but I'd have to recut everything, which is a little irritating. Anyways, the other one down here, you can see there's going to be a smart switch there. That outlet will hopefully really serve to like vacuum, and also a heater, which would sit right here in the future. So, and behind all of the scaffolding. So that's the plan there. And then walking out onto the porch, I got unique here. So there's going to be a switch here, or it's not a switch, an outlet here, so that I can plug in like table saws, Christmas lights, whatever we would think we would need on a back porch. And Hess approves apparently. So that is there, but I still need to continue working up here. This is the one area that once I get this framed in, I'll have a couple of outlets on the counter, and then I'll have my stove. So that'll be a big change, but I think I just have been kind of picking my battles. Also, it's kind of strenuous to do. Out here on this wall here, there's another outlet. You can see essentially there was an outlet there, but I've been raising all the outlets, if I can, to around 18 inches above the floor finish. That's the ADA compliant height. It just makes it easier to be able to get in and out, plugging things in and out. You don't have to bend over as much. Also for cord management. So if I have, for instance, a table lamp that's plugged in, I can actually tie that cord to itself, and it's not even hanging down on the floor. So, there's a lot of benefit there. Switches are going to go in to the door that's going right here, so it'll serve that door. But I have decided that there's going to be a light in this little breakfast nook area, or actually it's going to be a ceiling fan. So we'll just wait on that. At least I have light in the kitchen, which is the important thing. Likewise, over here, we'll have air conditioner, which you can see there's a big hole. They did have an air conditioner there. I've never had an air conditioner in my kitchen, so this will be different. But I think it will make it a much more usable space, much more pleasant to hang out and bake cookies and things like that, do arts and crafts at the kitchen table. And so there's an outlet that's been installed here. Obviously, they still need to do all the connecting. So that's that for this room, at least for now. And so that's going to basically get me light and get me the majority of appliances that I need. Hot water will be on the docket. That's going to go here, if you see where the beadboard is. This wall extends out just a little bit more. What's holding me back right now is I just need to pull this floor up and figure out where the floor is and reframe all that. I am optimistic that the original porch floor is actually still there. So I just really didn't want to make too many more messes before we get some of this stuff up and running. So that's why it hasn't been done. Here you can see got some temporary flooring down. The floor under here needs to finish being demolished, as well as the joists need to all be removed. And then we'll go back and put the joists at the right height, which is about 4 inches lower, and new flooring back in, so it'll match up with the new flooring over there. So this will be one big huge space. That will be really nice. Did go ahead and have them put in an outlet here on the back porch and an outlet there, and of course those will all be encased, and I did go ahead and buy them, but we haven't installed them. We'll go ahead and put that in with a protective cover, so that it's called an in-use cover, meaning that you can plug something in and close that cover, and it'll keep water and dust and things like that out of the way, even if it's kind of exposed to the elements, because remember, this is going to be screened in, not completely protected. So that is that for now. He actually asked me about lights, and I'm not ready for that. The ceiling is going to feel kind of low, and so I'm not really sure I want to do ceiling fans. Ceiling fans also, in our humid environment, they tend to kind of wilt and droop anyways. So I'm thinking I'm going to actually mount a fan in that corner right there, and it'll just kind of blow down. And because I don't know that there were actually lights in this porch to begin with, I might do something that's just as subtle as possible. So maybe some little LED pin lights or something that just kind of stick down from the beadboard, in which case you have to get that whole ceiling installed before you do that. We are nowhere near ready for that. So all of these joists, except for I think 5 of them, will come out. There are 5 of the originals there. I will match those, and then of course continue that on, so there won't be this kind of odd change in the ceiling height, and then we can start attaching everything. But I think it makes sense to get our power converted over, and at that point I'll feel much more comfortable taking out all of the wire that's essentially not yellow. The convenient thing is that all the yellow wire tells me that's all the new stuff, so I know what to be careful around and what to pull. So we'll pull all of that mess out and start to secure the new wire. From there, we can really start to make, I think, an impact, as well as I want to be insulating up underneath the floor above. So all good things to happen, but that is the update from Monday. I am going to try and get a little bit of stuff done, but I also want to kind of pace myself and get prepared so that Monday I'm not a total basket case trying to work and watch all of this stuff happen too, because I'm going to be very excited on Monday. So anyways, you guys take care, and I will talk to you soon.